Oh, how could I dream of such a selfless and true love?
Hey, this is Blake, and I'll be making pumpkin bread for my Food Heritage project. But first, I'm going to interview my mom and see where she got the recipe. So how did you start making pumpkin bread as a tradition?
Well, 23 years ago when I first got married, I didn't have a lot of recipes or any kind of meals that I could prepare. So where I was working at the time, the ladies in the office were older than me, and they put together a list of some recipes that I could start using with my new husband, and one of those was pumpkin bread.
Okay. So we weren't born yet.
You weren't born yet, no. It was actually 3 years later when you were born.
Okay. And how did that become like your favorite recipe?
Well, as you'll see in the video, it's very, very easy to make, and it's probably one of the most moist pumpkin breads I've ever eaten. And additionally, when you guys were born, it was one of your favorite breads that I could serve when you were little, even to now at 19.
Did your mom or grandmother ever make pumpkin bread?
My mom makes pumpkin bread, but my great-grandmother made all kinds of breads. She made bananas, she made pumpkins. She actually made homemade bread and churned her own butter. And when we were kids, we would come in from playing, and she would usually have some type of bread for us to eat as a snack.
Okay. And then pumpkin bread is something you'd always bring to like a Thanksgiving dinner, right?
Right. It became very popular with other people when we would go to, family reunion or Christmas. Mostly at Christmas and the holidays, people would ask me to bring my pumpkin bread. We need to preheat the oven to 350. Okay, so the first step in making our pumpkin bread is to start with 3 cups of sugar. And now you need 3.5 cups of flour. And so now we're going to actually add 4 eggs. Now we're going to add 1 cup of cooking oil. I like to use canola. Any cooking oil is fine. And this actually gives the pumpkin bread the moisture it needs. Now you're going to use 1 can of pumpkin. I like Libby's pure pumpkin. And now 1.5 teaspoons of salt. 2 teaspoons of baking soda. 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and if it were me, I would just do about 4 shakes in there. It equals hard shakes. 1 teaspoon of nutmeg. So I don't measure, but you're welcome to. About 4 hard shakes. 2/3 cup of water, and then I add 2 ingredients that are not on the recipe, a couple of shakes of pumpkin pie spice by McCormick's. There you go. And then a couple of shakes of ground cloves by McCormick. Now you have at this point an option to add nuts or not. So for this one we won't add nuts. We'll bake the first ones without. So now you get the task of mixing all of it together carefully so it doesn't spill until it's smooth. And then your batter will be ready for your pans.
She broke the spoon. Good job. So I finished mixing the pumpkin bread mixture. So now I need to spray pans with canola oil so it doesn't stick. And then I'm going to take flour and sprinkle it in the pan. Okay, so now that I made sure the pans won't stick, I'm going to pour the pumpkin bread mixture into the pans. Okay, so now I'm gonna put them in the oven. And I gotta wait for an hour and then they'll be ready. Okay, so they've been in the oven for an hour and this is what they look like. And I hope you guys enjoy it when I bring it to class Wednesday.